Every Saturday, a group of radio control car enthusiasts gather at the Seaway Mall in Welland to hone their skills on the track. The hobbyists come from across Niagara as well as elsewhere for a bit of friendly competition at RC Motorsports in Welland.
There's a couple touring car classes. There's stock, modified, there's USGT, which the bodies more look like a GT body. Then there's 12 scale, little smaller cars. A lot of them look the same, but underneath the chassis are different.
Mark, can you tell me how the races are run?
It'll be 5-minute qualifying, and you run against the clock. So basically, everybody starts 1 second between each other, and you're supposed to let somebody go. So you're racing against the clock, not each other, and you get 3 rounds like that. And then the top 8 or 10, or how many we have going A, and then there's a B and a C and a D kind of mains. And then then it's a heads-up start where everybody will go on the tone. So basically, you're only qualifying right now, and the object is you're supposed to, if somebody catches you, they're a little faster than the clock, let them go by, and that's how qualifying works.
Cory, how long have you been doing the RC hobby and why did you take it up?
About 27 years now, so since I was 13. I had a neighbor of mine who did the hobby, got me into it. In the neighborhood that I was in, my mom thought it was a good idea. She thought it was a phase, just like everything else in life, but here I am all these years and still having fun with it.
Out here in the pits, I see everybody with their head down, using tools, tweaking up the car, making all kinds of minor adjustments. What goes into getting ready for one of these races?
That's just everybody trying to fool you that we know what we're talking about and know what we're doing, right? But it's just basically you take your car and you're trying to make adjustments. You're always trying to make yourself better or trying to catch the next guy that's ahead of you, right? So it's always, whether it's setup, whether it's a little bit of adjustment to make something better, to fix something. A lot of times we're just sitting here trying to fix things more than trying to tweak it for the most part, but that's what everybody's doing here, just trying to get themselves better.
11 years ago, Frechette and the club hosted a race that they decided to call the Canadian Nationals. That race has become one of the premier events in RC car competition.
We had a lot of races up here, but no big one. And then I seen a race in Japan inside of a mall, and I thought that would be cool so people could actually see the hobby. Because usually it's in a hotel or it's in someone's backyard, so no one actually gets to see it. So I thought if we could actually be in a mall, maybe actually we get more people watching. And when we were in the center court, yes, it was the very first year we were there, they were standing like 2-3 deep watching. So the racers themselves thought it was really cool. And I called it the Canadian Nats because there was not one at that point, and now it kept on going, so we're in our 11th year coming up in March.
It's the biggest race of the year. It's funny, we started off in the food court here in Welland and with about 70 guys, and now we're over 250 plus and 600 entries. It's last year we had guys from Germany, Japan, down in the States, Western Canada, didn't matter. Everybody's from everywhere. It was the best of the best, and you won't see a bigger on-road race than this. And the fact that it's in our backyard, it's almost like being a host. So when all these people come from out of town, you want to make sure they're comfortable, having a good time, try to make sure their experience is what it should be, so they want to come back. And I think that's why our race has grown to what it has been. So yeah, absolutely excited about that.
Just like at Merrittville Speedway, off the side of the course sit the pits, where racers hone their vehicles between races.
So what we look for is to find out to see if there's any parts that are binding. I just ran a race and I had a couple incidents where I hit the boards. I want to see if I broke anything or I bent anything, and just checking to make sure that all the pieces are working properly so that when I go out again, the car's actually going to work. Sort of routinely going over everything because we are driving around the track at a pretty good speed, making sure the screws are tight, and also checking, see if there's any broken or parts that have fractured from impact.
So the two of you are coming down almost every weekend from Barrie. How did you find out about this place?
We've raced here for 2 years now at the Canadian Nationals, and it's a great facility, good atmosphere, and we enjoy coming here.
Barrett, you're 12 years old. You've been doing this since you were 5. What made you take up this hobby? Is it something that you encouraged Dad to do or Dad encouraged you to do? How did it start for you?
Well, Dad started racing, and I would come to watch. Eventually, I started practicing, and then I started to like it a lot, so I kept on doing it.
RC Motorsports will be hosting the Canadian National On-Road Championships right here at the Seaway Mall in Welland. They invite the public to come out and take in the action. Reporting in Welland for The Source, I'm Mike Balsom.